At first light, the bells of the castle ring. Not for war, not for worship, but to wake the most unlikely figure in the king's inner circle. Leicester, the English jester. Make no mistake, Leicester was no ordinary fool. He may have been the king's jester, but he was also his most trusted advisor. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button for more untold tales of the medieval world. As the kingdom stirred, Leicester remembered his childhood not one of giggles or gags, but of grit. While others juggled apples for coin, he studied history, language, swordplay, and satire. His wit was honed like a blade. Among the many ranks of fools in medieval courts, Leicester belonged to a rare and refined class. While lesser jesters were treated poorly, some kept like pets, and others tried to survive the fool society, Leicester was different. He was not only a master of wit and performance, but also a scholar, a strategist. Above all, he served not just any noble, but the king himself. Rising through the ranks by mind alone, Leicester had earned his place beside the king not through flattery, but through cunning and courage. Like lower jesters who wore feathered hats and donkey tails, Leicester wore red sharp, minimal, and dignified. He was a fool only in title. That day the kingdom prepared for battle, and at the king's side, not a knight, but a jester rode, not with sword or shield, but with strategy. Should we attack or wait for their move? Asked the king. Leicester advised caution. Send a message. Offer a truce, he said. Peace, if pride allows. And so the jester became the envoy a dangerous, often fatal task. For in medieval times, jesters were frequently chosen to carry messages between warring leaders. If the terms displeased the enemy, the jester paid the price. The enemy encampment was silent as Leicester approached, faces hard, eyes narrowed. He delivered the king's offer with grace, but the enemy commander's reply was anything but diplomatic. In a brutal act of defiance, they loaded the jester into a catapult, launching him back across the no-man's land like a warning shot. He landed with several cracked ribs, but with his life intact. Despite his injuries, Leicester rose that evening. Where others would rest, he rallied. Because a jester's role extended far beyond comedy, they were the soul of an army. In medieval warfare, jesters were masters of morale. They eased tension, distracted the fearful. Laughter, after all, was a weapon, a shield for the mind. But jesters didn't just serve behind the lines. Some took to the battlefield itself, waging psychological warfare through song, satire, and provocation. That morning, Leicester dressed the part of the fool not to entertain his own army, but to mock the enemies. He strutted into the open field alone and faced their strongest warrior. He sang, he juggled blades, he made the enemy laugh, then burn with rage. The giant of a man broke formation and charged. Leicester collapsed, bloodied, broken. But in that moment of chaos, the king struck. The enemy formation cracked. And just like that, the tide turned. Leicester never rose again. As dawn stretched over the battlefield, he took one final breath, smiling, his life traded for peace, his death, the punchline to a war well won. To the world, he was a jester. To his king, a strategist. To his people, a hero. While history remembers jesters as clowns in colorful hats, their true role was far more complex and dangerous. Jesters often served as messengers between warring factions. If their message displeased the enemy, they could be executed or catapulted home like Leicester. On the battlefield, they mocked the enemy. They sang offensive songs. They juggled weapons. And if fortune smiled, they lured enemies into mistakes. Their bravery rarely earned monuments, but often turned battles. Leicester may be fictional, but his story reflects a forgotten truth. In the shadows of kings and knights stood fools with courage unmatched. Jesters who fought with laughter, who bled for morale, who died so others might win. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button for more untold tales of the medieval world.